She climbed the altar. "Stop!" Her voice rang like thunder. The crowd froze. He screamed, "My waist! Oh, my waist! Don't kill me!" He dropped to his knees. "It's true. I'm fake. I got tired of struggling. I wanted fame. I didn't want to fast or pray. So I went to witches. Please forgive me." Adanma pointed. "Leave this village. You're not welcome here. And never return." "Take me to Iza's palace," she said, gasping. With their arms linked around her, they slowly led her toward the palace. Her feet dragged in the dust. Spirai of late Nwanmiri appeared beside her. Her face was radiant, her voice calm. "Congratulations, Amaka," she whispered, touching the baby's forehead. "This child is not ordinary." Adanma stood by its edge, speaking silently, her tiny hand tracing patterns in the water. Before we dive into this gripping tale of power, truth, and mystery in the land of Nbaalu, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell, because Adanma's journey is just beginning, and you won't want to miss a single revelation. If you believe that light must always overcome darkness, comment below with "Adanma, expose them all." The sun was mild and gentle that morning in Nbaalu village, and the leaves whispered softly as the wind strolled through the ancient forest path. Amaka, heavily pregnant with her first child, walked slowly around her compound, her hands resting gently on her swollen belly. There was peace in her eyes, a calmness that spoke of divine assurance. Her husband, Okudili, had gone deep into the forest before sunrise, searching for special herbs, as he did often during this sacred time. He never wanted his wife to lack anything: food, care, love, or spiritual fortification. Amaka's mother, Mrs. Okon, had come all the way from Nyala village several times, taking that lonely, bush-surrounded footpath that only the brave dared to walk. On her head was always a basket filled with herbs, roots, and leaves passed down from generations of women healers. These were not ordinary herbs. They were sanctified, meant to strengthen the mother and protect the unborn child. Each visit, she whispered blessings over her daughter, anointing her womb with herbal waters and wrapping her ankles with protective leaves. Nbaalu's royal compound had also opened its arms to Amaka. The Iza's wife had taken a special interest in her, often saying that, since the passing of the last Nwanmiri, the village had felt incomplete. She treated Amaka like a daughter, always stopping by with fruits, soup, and words of encouragement. Her laughter would echo through the compound as she cracked jokes, helping Amaka forget the heaviness of her body and the weight of her destiny. One afternoon, while Okudili was far away in the farm, uprooting yams, a sudden cry tore through the calm village air. "Neighbors, please help me. My water just broke." Amaka's voice was urgent, soaked in pain. Her hands held her waist tightly as waves of contraction attacked her body. Women rushed out from their huts, surrounding her with care. "Take me to Iza's palace," she said, gasping. "Let the elder women handle it there." With their arms linked around her, they slowly led her toward the palace. Her feet dragged in the dust, her face wet with sweat and tears, but determination shone through her pain. The women sang songs of strength as they helped her along. At the palace, a corner was cordoned off, and two experienced elderly women, anointed with wisdom and birth-giving knowledge, took charge. They moved quickly, whispering ancient prayers and rubbing sacred oils on Amaka's stomach. Time folded into mystery, and then a cry. A powerful, commanding cry. Adanma had arrived. The news traveled faster than the wind. In the middle of his harvest, Okudili dropped everything. With a basket of yam on his head and tears in his eyes, he ran home. Every villager he passed congratulated him. "Your child is here. The next Nwanmiri has been born." The village knew. The spirits had confirmed. That night, while mother and child rested in the palace, Amaka had a dream. In it, she sat cradling her newborn, wrapped in a white cloth, when the glowing spirit of the late Nwanmiri appeared beside her. Her face was radiant, her voice calm. "Congratulations, Amaka," she whispered, touching the baby's forehead. "This child is not ordinary. On the 8th day, give her the ancient wrist bead. That will mark the beginning. She is mine. Take good care of her." When Amaka woke, her heart trembled. She knew what the dream meant. Her daughter had been chosen by the great Seven Rivers goddess. Days later, a message reached Mrs. Okone and her husband. Carrying gifts of fruit, pepper, melon, and yam, they journeyed again from Nyala to Nbaalu, joy dancing in their steps. In the palace, Amaka sat like a queen, her child in her arms. Isa's wife sat beside her, declaring, "You won't be leaving soon. You'll rest here. This child is the village's heartbeat." On the 8th day, the entire village gathered. The elders sat around a round wooden table, with symbolic items laid before them: cola nut for relevance, alligator pepper for fruitfulness, bitter cola to drive away evil, and honey for sweetness in life. The air was heavy with tradition, silence hanging like a curtain, as prayers were offered. Mrs. Okone carried the baby, her face glowing with pride. Then the wrist bead, ancient and radiant, was slipped onto baby Adanma's tiny wrist. A gentle wind blew through the hut, and the elders whispered, "She has accepted her call." From that moment, the child's journey began. 3 months later, when mother and child had regained strength, they returned home. Isa's wife followed them, placing her hands on Amaka's shoulder and saying, "Raise her well. She's not just yours. She is ours. She is spirit." Years passed, and Adanma grew like a tender tree watered by destiny. Her eyes were sharp, her voice soft yet commanding. By age 5, she was already showing signs of spiritual sensitivity. One morning, while a large crusade was being held in the village by a traveling pastor, Adanma wrapped the white wrapper of the old Nwanmiri around her small body. Her mother looked at her and asked, "Where are you going dressed like that?" Adanma replied calmly, "The river is calling. I must go. There is a message waiting." Without question, Amaka stepped aside. She understood. The sacred river, not far from their inherited hut, was sparkling that morning. Adanma stood by its edge, speaking silently, her tiny hand tracing patterns in the water. The wind blew harder, and the trees bowed slightly. Her parents stood afar off, watching with trembling hearts, clutching each other as tears spilled down their cheeks. "This is no ordinary child," Okudili whispered. When Adanma returned, her face was fierce like a lioness. "There is an evil among us," she said. "That pastor, he is fake. His miracles are from the witches, not God. His hands heal, but the sickness returns double. I've been sent to stop him." That evening, the revival grounds were packed. Drums beat, people sang. The pastor walked up and down laying hands and shouting in tongues. Just as he was collecting money from people to seal their healing, Adanma walked in, barefooted, fearless. She climbed the altar. "Stop." Her voice rang like thunder. The crowd froze. The pastor turned. "Who are you? Why interrupt the work of God?" "I am Adanma," she said calmly, "the voice of the river goddess, the Nwanmiri of this village." "You have lied. You have stolen. You have deceived these people with powers you bought from witches. Today, you will confess." The pastor laughed nervously. "You're just a child." He never finished. An invisible force lifted him off his feet and slammed him against the wooden backdrop of the altar. The crowd gasped. He screamed, "My waist. Oh, my waist. Don't kill me." He dropped to his knees. "It's true. I'm fake. I got tired of struggling. I wanted fame. I didn't want to fast or pray. So I went to witches. Please forgive me." Adanma pointed. "Leave this village. You're not welcome here. And never return." Guards from Isa's palace escorted the fake pastor out of Nbaalu that same night. The people broke into spontaneous chants, "Great Nwanmiri! May your days be long. The next morning, the town crier rang his bell, moving from house to house. Ease says no pastor must enter this village again. We have our own oracle. Her name is Adanma, the small but mighty one. The people gathered in Ease's palace once again, singing songs of thanksgiving and dancing in circles. Mrs. Okone looked at her granddaughter and whispered, "You are truly one of the wonders of this land." And thus, the legend of Adanma grew. She was no longer just the girl born during moonlight. She was now the light that exposed darkness, the voice of truth in a time of lies. The Nwanmiri of Nbaalu, small but mighty, chosen, anointed, untouchable. And her story had only just begun. Did this story stir something deep within you? Have you ever seen a child used by God to uncover evil? Share your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you believe in the power of divine truth. Drop this in the comment section if you stand with Adanma. Nwanmiri, may your fire never go out. And stay tuned for the next episode of One of the Wonders of Adanma, because the story is far from over. Adanma's light will shine through even darker shadows.